Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault, is out in early access, and we've gone through the entire build. And what we have here is a far improved sequel to the first game for those of you who can do some slashing and shop simming. Moonlighter 2 takes place very shortly after the events of the first game. We have been kicked out of our home dimension and forced to live in another strange place. But when the mysterious Endless Vault appears and offers us unbelievable riches and our wishes to come true, we are once going to have to go into the world, beat things up, and then sell our loot to people who we have no idea what they're ever going to use it for. Like the first game, this is a combination of an action roguelite with a shop sim kind of meta progression. You'll spend your nights going into the procedurally generated areas looking for all manner of loot to then take back and sell during the daytime in order to earn the money that you need to make progress and unlock new areas and bonuses. Now admittedly, I wasn't as big of a fan of the first game as a lot of people were. I felt like the two kind of core elements were a little too simplistic for me. But with the sequel here, there has been some major improvements both in terms of the combat side and the shop sim angle. So, the first one, most apparent, is that the game is now switched into 3D rather than being isometric. Now, this does make it a little bit hard in some places to gauge perspective, especially during some of the enemy attacks, but it does open things up for some far more interesting combat. You now have multiple weapon types, and each weapon type has kind of its own unique way of being used. The heavy sword that I like, you can use your special move in order to kind of give it sharpness, which more sharpness means more damage. You can also now get access to different guns, which also have their own unique ways of being used. The game has definitely borrowed pages from some more modern action roguelites. You'll get access to different elemental perks. Each elemental perk kind of gives you a unique flavor to it. So lightning or thunder will allow you to call down a thunderstorm after you perform an action specific times. You can get a kind of goo that provides a delayed explosion on enemies. And you'll be able to find different rarities and kind of qualities of them as you explore. The loot angle or backpack management has also seen a bit of an improvement. Each area has a kind of specific mechanic or element that deals with the gear. This will affect how you'll be placing them in your backpack and how you'll maximize them to earn the most money during the shop sim. The first area, you deal with armor and fire. When you place certain items next to each other, they'll burn them and destroy them, unless they have armor which protects them. And of course, other items will proc based off of burning and armor as well. And this also lends with being able to raise the quality value of gear that can lead to some very crazy numbers in terms of money earned. Now, win or lose after a run, you'll return back to the shop, and then you'll be having to sell all your items. You now have shop perks that can activate during a day's sale. This, of course, have different rarities to them, and they'll allow you to earn more money. They'll maybe give you like bonuses to specific qualities of loot, and it's just enough to add a little bit more dimension to the shop sim angle. Now, with that said, you'll of course be spending all your resources on a variety of meta progression, and while we didn't get to see everything in the early access version, you will of course be able to upgrade your different gear, passive bonuses, and of course unlock new features, biomes, and challenges. The boss fights all are very unique and will offer different levels of difficulty to them. Now, the game at the beginning does feel a little bit hard. Enemies can hit very hard in this game, and you do not remain kind of in iframe or invincibility for too long. You can take a lot of damage incredibly fast. And one of the most important upgrades early on is definitely raising your max health and your ability to bring multiple health potions. But like with all the other action roguelites we've played, there will come a point where you've unlocked enough that you can start making big progress. And once you do that, the game is kind of off to the races as you start earning more money to unlock the different challenges of the Endless Vault, which will provide you with new bonuses and will move the story along. Each one of the game's biomes that we played has kind of like an alternate or a side B version that offers more challenges, more loot, and another boss fight to go for. If I had any issues with the general gameplay, is that the game features a kind of soft lock-on for your gun and kind of some of your other abilities, and I was having a lot of problems sometimes aiming for the right enemy. You can hit stunned enemies with your backpack in order to send them flying, and you can also shoot down flying enemies to do more damage and stun them. But the game was just not like letting me hit the enemy. It was one of those cases where if there's an enemy slightly in front of them, you just cannot seem to aim to hit them. I also turned off the kind of soft lock on through like mouse cursor and went with just by the character's general direction to make it a little bit easier for me. And all in all, I will say I was enjoying this one. Everything has been certainly improved, and I do like the added depth to the different ways to manipulate your gear, as well as the improvements to the shop sim side. Now, if you're hoping for, again, like full-on Racketeer levels of shop management, it's not going to go that far, but by the end of our Play Early Access, I am definitely interested to see where this game is going to go. So if you were a fan of the first game and don't mind the shift to 3D, then this is an easy recommendation. And if you were someone who was hoping for more depth with the mechanics of the first game, then you certainly want to check this one out, or keep an eye out for when it is released out of Early Access. With that, Moonlighter 2 was played with a press key provided by the publisher. If your game for a future stream and video does not involve shop simming, slashing, or anything else, be sure to get in touch. If you did play this one, let me know what you thought of it down below. And with that, I'll see everyone for our next review and for more streams and game design talks coming soon. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and if you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.